Welcome to another episode of GLADA Member Spotlights. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you like the content that we're putting out.
So like many athletic trainers, I started learning about the profession when I got injured as a high school athlete. And not just injured once, injured again and again and again, right? And I didn't have access to an athletic trainer where I was. So as I kind of started digging into it, I started to realize even at that age, like I'm not getting the access to healthcare that I should. And that really hit me. And then I started to learn about what athletic training is, what athletic trainers do, um, and how they really are able to serve that patient population. And that got me really excited about healthcare. And so yeah, I pursued athletic training from there. Yeah, so this is one of those questions where if I really wanted to answer this, it'd take a couple hours. Mentoring in our profession is such a huge thing. Uh, I think back to my early days when I was still an athletic training student, and I think about Mark Huntington, who was a professor of mine, and he really helped me learn and understand the professional aspect and the patient care aspect of athletic training. Um, he was a huge part of who I've become today and my involvement in the profession. From there, I definitely couldn't answer this question without talking about my cohort at IU in my post-professional master's program. Kelly, Joe, Jess, Caroline, JJ, um, that crew was such a support to me and stay a support to me. Right? That was quite a while ago these days. And I got a text from them last week. And, one of us was facing a challenge and we reached out to the others. And it's still going on. There's still a support system to me. And I hope I'm still a support system to them. Uh, Also at IU, definitely have to mention Dr. Carrie Doherty. She was instrumental in mentoring me and really was the one that started me thinking about a passion for the education side. So that was a big influence in my life. I would have to say right now, the highlight really is my service on the GLADA executive board. Uh, it's a really exciting time to be in this service role and providing leadership for the organization. Um, we have some strategic planning coming up that I think is really going to help the association really serve its members. We're reaching out. We're trying to increase the engagement among members. I think we're seeing some excitement around that from our members, and that's got me really excited about the profession. Uh, I also couldn't answer this question without also mentioning all of the students that I've been able to interact with throughout my career, and uh, yeah, the just seeing where they end up, seeing what those students are doing, getting to interact with them at conferences, getting texts or calls from them still. Um, that keeps me passionate and excited about the field of athletic training. Yeah, getting involved in the profession can be a really challenging step to take. My biggest piece of advice to anybody thinking about it is to reach out. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to walk up to the person with the name tag on. That can be really scary. But there's a lot of ways to reach out. GLADA has an online form that you can complete, and then somebody will get in contact with you. Right, a little lower stress. But what that does is it starts that process to really learn what roles are there, what roles require in terms of time commitment and responsibilities. And that really is the key to demystifying some of these volunteer opportunities and involvement opportunities. Because once you really learn what the expectations are and the realities are, it's a lot less scary. And it becomes a lot easier to take that first step and join a committee and get involved. One of the things that's I'm really getting into right now is based around this concept of unlearning, which is kind of interesting as an athletic training educator, that I'd be interested in unlearning, as my whole career right now is focused on learning. But I really think it's a big step forward for us as a profession to start to engage in the intentional practice of unlearning, to really enhance the care of our patients, to start to let go of some of the dated practices that we have that are no longer evidence-based, and give ourselves the needed capacity to bring in the new tools. So my biggest piece of advice for any athletic trainer out there, and even the new grads coming out, is to know your value. Athletic trainers are so valuable as healthcare professionals, and we need to be able to understand our value, but then beyond that, we need to be able to communicate that value to others. And learning, taking the steps to really learn how to communicate that value to different stakeholders, and communicate it in a way that shows what your value could bring to them is really important for us to continue to advance the profession of athletic training. Yeah, my biggest hope right now as a profession is that we can engage in the process of change. Change is hard. We have a lot of change ahead of us as a profession still. Things are developing, things across all of healthcare, things are changing. Our role is not going to stay the same as it has always been. And we need to embrace that. We need to support each other as we're going through this. My hope is that we can really be that support for one another as we go through this process of change, so that we are all in it together and can benefit from the change on the backside. Oh, I have so many hopes and dreams that I want to be able to do so many different things for this profession. Right now, there's multiple different paths of what that might look like. I want to continue to engage with members. I want to continue to be able to provide some level of leadership for our associations. What that looks like really doesn't matter. And honestly, if any of you out there want to serve and want to have those kinds of roles, realize what it looks like is going to be different for everybody too. We can all lead from wherever we are in this profession. And that's really my hope. I just hope to continue to be able to provide leadership, and hopefully some mentorship as I continue to progress in my career. Yeah, so this generation of students is bringing to the table a true passion for patient-centered care. Uh, it's always been a huge component of athletic training to be very patient focused. But this generation of student is really excited about that concept. And I feel as if it's ingrained in who they are to take care of others in that way, and look at them as whole people. Um, and I feel like that the ability uh, to practice that way as athletic trainers is really exciting to this generation of student. And I think we need to lean into that as we're advocating for our profession. That we are a group of healthcare professionals uh, that really get to know and understand and build relationships with our patients, and use that to provide them with the best healthcare that's out there. Yeah, so it's always challenging as a student to take that step. Again, I'm a firm believer that anybody can be a leader from wherever they are. Um, and I try to instill that in my students, that it doesn't necessarily need to be a role that has a badge, that has a name, something tied to it like that, a title. Um, you just need to lead from where you are. And sometimes that looks different. Sometimes that's within your cohort of students. Sometimes it's going to conferences and engaging with other students and engaging with professionals. Sometimes that might be being a student rep on a committee. Um, I would also encourage students, and I always encourage students, to continue to be advocates for the profession. They're coming out and they have all the passion that there is for this profession still. And they can use that passion to help continue to show those of us that have been practicing for quite a while, and that passion is still out there. And it might help bring us along too.
If you would like to recommend a colleague or yourself for GLADA member spotlight videos, you can go over to glada.org, look under the Advocacy Committee tab, and click on GLADA AT Spotlight to fill out the form. Until next time, stay great, GLADA.